Facebook. Hey, many of us are familiar with it. A lot of people use it for social interaction. But what happens if someone is posting to their Facebook page while they are serving as a juror? Well, that brings us to this week's case. It involves a case that arose in Sacramento, California. There was a criminal trial going forward, and at the conclusion of the trial, when the jury found the defendants guilty, it became evident that one of the jurors had been posting to his Facebook page during the trial. One of his postings said, "Oh, this is really a boring situation." And the defense became aware of this, and they brought a motion asking the court to order that juror to reveal his entire Facebook postings while he was serving as a juror. Well, the judge listened to this. The defense argued there may be jury misconduct here. He might have been doing something, considering evidence that he shouldn't have been considering. Therefore, we need to take a look at what he was saying on his Facebook. Judge said, well, that's a reasonable point. Ordered the man to disclose what he had posted on his Facebook account. Well, the guy said, I've got some constitutional issues here. Rights of privacy. You can't just look at my personal postings. You're not a member of my Facebook page. Therefore, I say no. Judge said you need to relinquish that. Was appealed. The appellate court looked at it and said, you've got to relinquish it. Now it's going up to the California Supreme Court. They said they wanted to hear this case and make a ruling. All right, now why is this case important and how can it affect you? Well, let's talk about a trial first of all. A trial, as we all know, is a situation where someone is accused of a crime, or in a civil trial is accused of doing something wrong, breaking a contract or hurting somebody negligently or whatever else. When that trial takes place, whether it's a criminal trial involving possibly a jail sentence or, in a worst case situation, a capital punishment, or whether it's a civil trial involving money, basically, it's a broken contract or it's somebody who is negligently injured, the jury can only consider what's submitted in that trial. They can't go to the scene of the accident by themselves and engage in any kind of investigation. If they do so, it has to be ordered by the court, supervised by the court. They can't go out and start Googling about information on the trial. They can't say, well, you know, I heard from a friend of mine who knew one of the people who was there at the time that what really happened was. Can't do any of that. Well, why can't they do any of that? Because, as I say, they can only consider what's presented in the courtroom. And why is that? Because there are rules of evidence. Some evidence is considered reliable, some evidence is not reliable. The non-reliable stuff is rejected by the court. That's why there are evidentiary objections. We've seen that on television and the movies. And if an evidentiary objection is upheld, the judge is saying, no, that evidence is unreliable and can't be considered by the jury. Now, if the jury is starting to consider things that are outside what's been presented in the courtroom, they are no longer considering the evidence that was presented at court. And therefore, that is jury misconduct. If there's jury misconduct, the decision of the jury can be overthrown, can be found to be an improper action by the jury that invalidates their decision. So, in this instance, the guy is posting to his Facebook, he's saying various things about the trial, and there's no indication of whether he's communicating with other people and other people were posting to his page saying various things about the trial. The court needs to know so it can see whether or not he was acting as he should have and only considered evidence that was coming in to the courtroom, or whether he was acting improperly, and if he did act improperly, did that improper conduct taint the entire decision by the jury. Okay, you're going to be hearing about more of these cases because more and more people obviously are involved in Facebook and various other forms of social networking, and they do it sometimes while they're actually serving as members of the jury. We'll see more and more cases of this nature. You're going to hear about it more and more. Now you will understand why. I'm David Allen. We bring you these cases every week so you understand what's going on in the law.